Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of Tackle for Loss season 2. Week 3. Once again, you know, the episodes be fucked up because we suck and missed an episode, the week 1. Well, we'll keep saying that every week. Now, I'll start off now by saying I fucked up last week, guys. Hey, if you listen to me, I fucked you up on one of the picks, and I take full responsibility for that.
You seem really confident on that one too, to be fair.
I was so confident actually that I said that if the Titans came within 3 of the Chargers, I would do 2 shotguns at the start of next episode. Now, unfortunately, you probably already know the Titans fucked the Chargers. So I'll let Grayson keep talking about the rest of this episode to start with, and while he does that, I'll get my 2 shotguns ready and crack those out.
Well, if you just pass me that piece of paper, Cree, I'll just go over last week's locks and our stats.
We should you should probably also talk about why Zach's not here. Well, not why Zach's not here, but who's here instead of Zach.
Well, actually, we'll do our intros, right? So, like, this week on the couch, you've got myself, Grayson, amateur analyst, professional bullshitter. We've got Cree, professional gambler, failing gambler. And our third man on the couch in that disgusting jersey is the man I said I hate last week.
Oh,
it's
great jersey.
Phil.
Thanks for having me, lads.
No worries. We get to hear your opinions this week.
I will, sir.
Well, Cree sorts himself out. I'm going to go through last week. Last week's locks. But first of all, we'll go through the Thursday night football. So last week, our Thursday night football game was
Vikings-Eagles.
Vikings-Eagles. Right, and well, let's just start off with the obvious of what happened.
Oh, do we have to go there? Do we have to go there?
Vikings shat the bed. Again, 2 weeks in a row. And Cree and I went with the Vikings plus 7.5, I believe. And we both hit that one. So that's beautiful for our Thursday night football for our first week.
1-0, baby. 1-0. 1-0.
Oh, wow.
You're suffering through that one.
It was actually a pretty good shot.
It smells good too.
Yeah, I might have to do it
and then
myself.
we'll go to our locks. So last week, Cree took 5 locks, but out of those, he hit 3 of them, which is a solid start to the season. And I took 3 locks, hitting 2 of the 3 with my team fucking me over on that one. How you feel, mate?
I mean, as good as you got to feel doing 2 shotguns back to back. You know, not great, but hey. I mean, I put the record on the line. I put a challenge on. I'll live up to it. Hey, I'm not going to back down from what I said. I trust my gambling prowess.
Probably a little too much.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be recovering from that one for a little bit there. Yeah, carry on, Gray.
Okay.
Man of his word.
So what we'll do is we've gone to locks. We've dealt with Cree's issues. And now we'll start looking at this week's games.
Give me my paper back.
Do you want to pay back?
Yeah, give me that.
So we'll look at this week's Thursday night football.
Thursday night, welcome back. Sorry. Couple of, those drinks are really getting to me. It's all the bubbles. Welcome back to Thursday night football, presented by no one, because no one sponsors us.
This week, actually, it's sponsored by Cree's Suffering.
Yeah, this week sponsored by me wanting to puke. Okay, 49ers home game taking on the Giants. 49ers favourites 10.5, or head-to-head $1.17. Giants are plus 10, or not 10.5, plus 10. $4.60 to win that game. Under-over is 43.5. What are we thinking, boys?
You'd be a fool not to go 49ers.
I mean, yeah.
Definitely a fool.
I think the 49ers are fucking sick. CMC is just, like, he's almost unstoppable. That offense is just solid. Purdy just does what he needs to do. And the Giants fucking suck.
And they're without Saquon.
Without Saquon, they fucking barely beat the Cardinals. Came back from a huge deficit.
Which is impressive.
It was,
considering
was
the previous
impressive.
week's
But literally,
performance.
they only... Sorry, guys.
That's all good. Take time.
They only managed to get that comeback because of Saquon, and now he's not there. You're not filling that role that fast with the other guy you're putting in. Give me 49ers minus 10 all day of the week. Also, we are watching this game. I am putting money on this game. I'm going to win money on this game too.
Well, for me, I'm tempted to even bring out the Kiwi saver and put it all on the 49ers.
Fuck, you might have to, eh?
That's how the 49ers are a dead cert.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
With the minus 10, you're pretty happy with it?
Oh, 100%. Like, for me, best defensive team in the league by a country mile.
Best defensive team?
Poor, I
Not the
wouldn't say-
Cowboys?
No, not best defensive, no way.
Oh, right.
But best offensive.
Oh, best offensive team. Oh, I mean, yeah, I can
Yeah,
probably get
yeah, I
behind
can
that,
see that,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Grayson,
Fuck, the 10's a lot.
you can go the other way on it.
No, I'm going 49ers.
Have
Come
a
on, man.
flutter, son. Have a flutter.
Come on.
No,
Okay.
I will, because you know what? I don't trust the Giants, and they came back against the Cardinals. Sure, Cardinals aren't that great a team.
No.
I feel like if we're looking at even the week before, I feel like at the moment the Niners and the Cowboys are on similar levels in terms of how they're performing. So if the Cowboys are able to score 40 on them, like again, that would probably.
I mean, I would say
probably
40
a wild game.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
I feel like the Niners are able to cover that 10. So
All right. Those are your Thursday night picks presented by
Cree suffering.
My Suffering. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that one. Well, that takes away a Thursday night. Now let's get to the rest of the season. I mean, the week.
He's
God,
adjusting.
oh,
There's a
we
lot
do-
of bubbles in the
we
system.
do
Honestly,
18 weeks,
I'm
are
all
we?
over the show. Yeah, we're going through all 18 weeks right here, right now.
Could be a long pod.
No, we're not. Grayson, what's next game?
All right, so for our first Sunday night football game, we have the Lions Falcons game. Lions are favorites by 3, Falcons +3. Head to head, the Lions are paying $1.56. Falcons are paying $2.30. Under over is 46.5. This might be a shootout, boys.
I think it will be. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I still don't trust the Lions. You know, people say there's not an asterisk by the win they got against the Chiefs, which I don't think you can put an asterisk by any game. A win's a win. It counts in the season. It doesn't fucking matter. A win's a win. There's no asterisks. However, I'm not convinced on this Lions team. They obviously bet the Chiefs barely, and it was a weak Chiefs team that is struggling offensively. We saw that against the Jags this week. And then they also bet, they lost to the Seahawks in overtime, and the Seahawks, I'm a huge fan of my team, but I'm not overly impressed in the Seahawks either. It was a big shootout, but I'm just not convinced about this Lions team, to be honest. And -3 home game for the Lions, but so was last week. I don't know, man. I kind of don't want to touch the Lions. I'm not convinced of them at all.
Yeah, like for me, the Lions just had moments. They weren't cohesive enough. There was no real consistency. I'm going to go Falcons on this one.
You're taking Falcons +3.
Going to take Falcons.
I mean, to be
I like
honest,
the Falcons. I really don't. Right,
Yeah,
Bijan.
why? Because they beat the Packers.
Yeah,
that why?
Bijan
No,
Robinson.
Packers.
Aside from that, right? That was more like a Packers shit the bed rather than the Falcons did that well. They couldn't stop Bijan. He is really fucking good. I agree with that. But that's about it. That's about it.
I mean,
And I feel like the Lions would be able to shut him down.
I don't know, man.
I
Like,
reckon,
that-
and
I
it's
just don't know.
like the +3 for the Falcons. I don't feel like it's enough. Sure, that like they're one of the teams that like I think they've gone 2-0 for the first time in a long time, and I don't believe that they should be 2-0. They should have lost last week. It was just a real shit into that game on the Packers side, and the Falcons really just used Bijan to run it through. I think the Lions have this -3.
Yeah, I
actually,
guess-
I'm gonna lock it.
You're locking the
Locking
Lions
the Lions
-3.
-3.
Wow.
It's a big call.
Wow, even
Big
after that
call.
loss, I guess the one thing that really makes me sway to the Lions side here is the fact that they put up that many points against 30-something points against the Seahawks team. And the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks defense is better than the Falcons defense. Offensively, Seahawks are also probably better than the Falcons. I guess I am going to go Lions -3 here. Not going to lock it, but hey, I am going Lions -3. Sorry, Phil.
No, that's all good. That's good. Still sticking with the decision. Falcons.
Sticking Falcons.
Yep.
Fair enough. Next game. Vikings home game against the Chargers. I mean, this is a pretty even game going into this. You got Vikings -1.5, Chargers +1.5, $1.85, $1.87, whatever. 53.5, the over/under. Phil, tell me about the Vikings, Phil.
Oh,
Tell us
God.
about your team, Philip.
There was a moment there where I was thinking of giving up
On what?
supporting them. Like the first quarter was abysmal. like 3 or 4 fumbles.
I mean, they
No
lost.
run-
They lost 4 fumbles that game. 4 fumbles lost.
Yeah, and it was just a strange first quarter. Like the Eagles couldn't obviously get going either, but the Vikings, like again, three fumbles in the first quarter, no running game to speak of. Madison's washed, and the defense.
I mean,
It's
even
gonna
with-
lose them
yeah,
games.
Yeah, I mean, it really will. I mean, but there was no secret last year. It's
No.
kind of funny thing that it's carried over from last year. The run game last year, as much as Dalvin Cook was good, it wasn't a great run game.
wasn't
That
great,
was
no.
their big struggle last year, was not getting the run game going. And when you don't have a run game, you can't get the pass game going. The
Yeah.
defense isn't scared of you running the ball because they know they don't have to worry. So they just
Exactly.
worry about the secondary, which luckily Kirk's a fucking G.
Oh mate,
Him and JJ, eh?
what a lad! What a lad!
He's still slept on. Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder as well though if there weren't
That's
four
not going to win them games though.
Nah,
And it's
Well,
proven already.
it's
this year.
very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the stat last week, where it was like they were like 11-0 in one-score games last year. They're already 0-2 in one-score
One-score
games this
games.
year, which I mentioned could happen, and if it continues to happen, they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean
well,
it does, but you also got to take into account here 4 fumbles lost. That's got nothing to do with like or how good their defense is or like how good their run game is. If you literally don't take those 4 lost fumbles, if you take those 4 lost fumbles out, that one score game could easily that could have been a 2-point game, a 3-point game. They could have won. So I don't think it's fair to say that like they'll just lose in these 1-point game like one score games. Well, yeah, but that was literally to do with 4 fumbles lost. Like that is such a
It comes
you
down to
can't
their
tell
play,
me
though. Yeah.
if you lose by 1 score and have 4 fumbles lost. I think you can say that there's a huge factor in that loss. It's probably the biggest factor. No matter how bad they looked at certain points or how bad their secondary and defense is, having 4 fumbles lost will kill you. It will kill any
yeah.
team.
Oh yeah, I still don't believe in the Vikings at all. I think there's a lot of hype around a few players, and that's about it.
Yeah, the very one-dimensional offense. Like it's a passing offense, and it's predictable. Like even though they nail it with JJ, you got Addison now
Yeah.
in the mix, Hawkinson, and Kirk's hitting them. But is it going to take you all the way to the Super Bowl? You need to
Not at
change it up. So it's very predictable, and I can't see them.
Yeah, I
Go
mean,
very
but then
far.
again, you got the Chargers. Disappointing game against the Titans.
Oh, God, yeah.
Costing me to this day, actually, or especially on this day, the fact that shotgun is two drinks. Thanks, Herbert, fucking prick. No, but in all honesty, Herbert's been slinging it. He played well. Like you can't. It's an interesting thing when people talk about like Herbert being a good QB. Look at his numbers, and then you get the people coming out the haters coming out the woodwork saying, "Well, yeah, if he was a really good QB, you know what he's never done. You know what he'll never do? Put the team on his back." Like you can't single-handedly get a team to fucking a QB to win you games. I mean, you can, but come on, the dude fucking had a great game, and you're saying, oh, he needs to do more. No, he fucking doesn't.
Yeah, it's the other players around and they need to step up.
Especially that defense, man. They've allowed what do they allow? They allowed 27 points to the Titans and 36 or 34 to the Dolphins. Like I guarantee, the Dolphins are a good offensive team, but 27 to the Titans, like that's a defensive problem.
Yeah, and with Tanner who was running the helm as well, like how many times did he get sacked in that game?
They got
And they
to
still-
him,
and they-
they got to him 5 times, and the fact that didn't lead to then also winning. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's something wrong somewhere else.
Well, honestly,
Exactly.
you look at the run game from the run game that they had the week beforehand to this week. Without Eckler, it's a big question mark on whether they're going to win games. I think he's just so dynamic in that team that it makes the offenses, the defenses, they're playing, have to play so differently. Like they really do. And without him, a little bit of that is their defense has just changed. They just don't. No one's as scared as when Eckler's in the game. So I think that's a big factor for the Chargers there.
I think that's the one thing I've noticed across this first couple of weeks already. As much as the running back position's kind of like been undervalued in terms of money, you look at the teams that have like had their top running back out and how they've performed the next week. Aaron Jones, next week, loss. Fucking Chargers with Eckler gone, underperforming. I reckon it's
Browns,
the
if they-
Browns have now lost
Well,
Chubb.
Yeah,
not even
that's
that.
gonna be
Browns,
huge.
if they kept Chubb that game, if Chubb didn't go out injured that game,
Oh, they win.
They win that game.
They win the
You
game.
know, it's just
Because the Steelers weren't offering anything.
It is
No.
kind of sad, but if this is the way that it almost changes the market for that position, like I hope it does because like it's kind of sad. But
Yeah.
I think the Chargers have this with a 1.5.
honestly, I actually. Let me have a look at this.
The fact that the defense could get through to the Titans and like sack Tannehill 5 times, you've got Joey Bosa on that line. I feel like
Yeah, but also the Vikings sacked the Eagles, sacked Jalen Hurt
Yeah.
Four
Which-
times.
which
And
was
that,
surprising.
that Eagles front is one of the best fronts in the league, if not the best offensive line in the league. And you get the Vikings getting to him 4 times. You know, like I think this game, honestly, I think this game is going to be so high scoring. I could see this blitzing past the over.
Oh, 100%.
Which also,
yeah.
when you're watching a game, like Big Cat says from Barstool, the over is one of the best things to bet on. Because when you bet on the over, whoever's got the ball is your favorite team. It's classic line. Good on history. Honestly, because you're just happy every part of the game because there's always offense going on. You know, like you're rooting for touchdowns. You don't care who's throwing them, and that's why I'm going to take I'm going to lock the over on this game.
Oh,
Fuck the teams. I'm locking the over of 53.5. Ha, even better. I'm locking the over on that.
Yeah, I'm locking that in.
You're
Definitely
going
locking
to
in.
lock that?
You're gonna
Yeah.
get you're locking the over.
Yeah, I'm locking over.
And I'm
Yes,
touching it.
fuck yeah.
I'm just taking the Chargers.
You're taking Chargers
Yeah.
plus 1.5 there?
Yeah.
I'm going to get that, but it's Vikings home game.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
Skull.
Skull!
Disgusting.
greatest jumper
Also,
ever
I've got
bought too.
Kirk in Fantasy League, so I'm fucking points, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Next game, we have Packers home game with the Saints visiting. Packers favorite, it's -2. Saints +2. That doesn't really make sense to me. Under over of 42.5.
Wait, what does make sense about this to you?
I feel like as much as the Saints played badly last week, I feel like they are a better team.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. I feel like it should be a little bit more either even or like even Saints sided. Just like the Packers kind of let themselves down last week with
Who
that.
did the Packers beat week 1?
They beat the Bears.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, I
that's
mean, I
it,
guess
yeah.
so, yeah, and they lose
Yeah.
to...
We could beat the Bears, just the three of us.
Yeah.
No, actually, we probably need Zach Humer O-line, but then we'll be away.
yeah.
Anyway, Saints paying $1.73 head to head. Saints $2.03.
So at 42.5 under over, not
Yeah.
touching that. I mean, my big question mark is Aaron Jones
Yeah, agreed.
and
he's
Christian
back.
Watson. No one knows really if they're going to be back.
I reckon
big
Watson's-
question mark on
I think
them.
Watson's supposed to be back.
You said that last week?
Well, I thought week
You
4.
said that last week, so
Yeah,
I'm not believing
well.
you.
Yeah, don't trust me anymore.
But if he come-
Kamara's back week 4.
yes, love
Next week,
Kamara.
Kamara's back. That could be a big game changer for them. Once he's like another Eckler, very dynamic.
Yeah.
Makes defenses shit themselves, to be honest.
And I can see Carr, definitely using him a lot.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he's experienced enough to really do that. Anyway, that's next week. This week, Grayson, you're obviously going Packers here.
With the -2, I don't know. I don't trust it. Honestly, don't.
Honestly, I don't like this game.
I'm with you on the fact that it very much is dependent on those two players.
Oh,
it's very
100%.
dependent on Aaron Jones and Christian Watson.
Well, not even for me. It's less Christian Watson. It's 100% for me on Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones is playing in this game for the Packers here, I'm taking them all day -2, especially home game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking
And
that.
it's funny how, like, from the start of the season to even now, we're not even questioning whether it's a performance of the QB now because of the fact that for the first couple games, John Love, 3 TDs per game, no interceptions. So, like, that's reliable. Their defense has been reliable. They got run over by Bijan last week, though.
That's
One
a good
man.
point, actually.
Yeah.
One man.
Just one
that
man.
the Saints don't have.
Exactly.
Give me
yeah.
Packers -2 here at home.
Yeah, going Packers.
And
That's
they
at
only
home,
allowed
so-
1 sack last week.
I put that, yeah. Actually,
Whereas the
1 sack
Saints-
and 0 turnovers, and they still lost. That's clearly not a defensive problem
No.
or an O-line problem. That's literally just a fucking can't stop to run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go Packers -2.
Wow, we've all gone Packers
Yeah,
-2
Packers.
there. Wow.
Saints don't
Isn't
travel
that,
well
isn't
either.
that cute? You know what's actually kind of funny before we get into the next game? I had a look at these games when I was writing stuff down for them, putting the odds in. Normally every week when I go through games, I see like, oh, those odds for those games, I like that. Oh, that's easy money. There weren't many this week at all. Where when I was doing them, I was kind of like, that looks good. I'll take that. Like they're really not that I remember. I mean, there might be some as I go through this,
Last week
but
seemed easier.
this week I'm a little bit stumped on a few of these. Next game, Phil, what do we got? Actually,
I actually have
well,
no idea. I
you
haven't-
don't have the.
Haven't
I'll-
even got it in front of me here,
Yeah,
but
you're right. That's right.
Hey, Phil, out of thin air, pick a game.
Jags. Who? Jags. Phil. Who are the Jags playing this week?
again, good question.
I thought you could
I
just
think you
rattle
just
it
gotta
off.
guess it.
Yeah, I think you guessed
Yeah.
that.
I actually have no idea who the Jags have got this week.
Jags home game. It's on the next page. Jags home game.
Hang on.
We're
Hold
a
the phone.
professional,
Hold the phone.
professional
Texans.
outfit here. Come on.
Jags
Texans.
Texans. I mean, Jags are favorites -9.5 here. Texans +9.5. Jags home game, obviously.
Divisional game too.
Divisional game. $1.21 for Jags. $4.05. That's a huge for the Texans. Over unders 43.5.
I'm not touching
mean-
that one. Not touching that.
Well, the over under.
Yeah.
You wouldn't touch the over under?
No, they're so inconsistent. These two teams. One minute the
Colts and Texans went to 51. 51 points total.
True,
Is
but
the Jags better offense than the Colts?
yeah, you'd have to say yeah.
Is the Jags defense better than the Colts? Debatable.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's debatable.
It's very
debatable.
So how can they not score more than 43?
Texans. For me, Texans.
You're taking Texans on this?
No.
Oh, no, you're just saying
for
the
me,
Texans are the reason.
The
Did you
Texans are
not
gonna
see
be-
CJ Stroud balling out?
He was good. He was good.
He's
It's
making a
when-
case for best rookie, especially
Yeah.
after Richardson got injured.
It's just their O line fucking when they don't have that protection.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, he got hurried.
6 sacks.
Yeah, and he got hurried about what 15, 16 times. So he
Yeah.
was.
It was
No,
under
no,
pressure like most of the game.
But when he
If
wasn't,
anything, that speaks volumes, huh? Allowed
Yeah.
6 sacks. They got 6 sacks 6 times, yet CJ threw for 384. 2 touchdowns, 0
Yeah.
interceptions. As much as he was pressured, he didn't make huge mistakes.
when he had time,
He looked
and
good.
Yeah, when he had time in the pocket, and the O line was doing their job, there was no one better. He looked good, especially second game in. So
Absolutely. Yeah, making a case for rookie of the year.
yeah,
If he
understand.
carries on like that, then he definitely is. But what's up with Damian Pierce, am I right?
Oh,
What's up with Damian Pierce, am I right?
Honestly, don't know.
I mean, is that a run game play calling issue? Defensive, the fact they can't break defense. What's the issue here?
I don't think it's a problem with Damian Pierce. We saw.
Well, I mean, no, we
it's
saw him
sectors.
last year.
We've seen him do
Yeah.
well last year, so I think
It might
is-
be the play calling.
I
me,
think
it
it's a
was
little bit of
tactics.
a little bit of play calling, a little bit of the O line not being able to shift for the run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was just running to brick walls. So
I mean, he really was.
I wouldn't
Give
really
me
blame
Jags
him.
9.5.
Bro, 9.5 is
Yeah.
massive. You know what?
Hey, sometimes you got to put your
You
balls on
know
the table
what
and just
I
be like,
remember?
look, here they are. All right, Jags minus 9.5.
I
call.
remember last year. I think it was Texans, Chiefs, maybe Texans. Somebody.
Palace trip this one.
And the over. I was at work watching this. The point spread was Texans plus like 13 against the Chiefs, and I'm pretty sure they lost by like 3 or something. That was
That's right.
That was when they
Yeah.
wore the
Do
red
remember-
helmets. They wore
Do
the
remember that
sick
game.
red helmets, and that was insanely. So I think, hey, give me Texans plus 1.5 for the nostalgia. For the and also I bet on that game and I won money on that game because of the Texans.
So you're doing a nostalgia bet.
Nostalgia bet. Give me
You- you-
Texans 9.5 for the memories and the money.
Now Jags minus 9.5.
It could be leading you astray there, old Crete. I
What?
reckon. Nostalgia
Don't-
bet.
hey,
I've bet it
Don't
with
talk
my
shit
heart.
on my picks, man.
I've bet it with my heart before, and I've paid the price. I really have. So I'm gonna go Jags.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. Give me
running
Jags. Give me Jags minus 1.5. Give me that. Give me Jags minus 1.5. I just realized the Colts fucking bet them 31-20. Give me fucking Jags minus 9.5. Holy shit.
All right, next game. We've got Dolphins home game. Broncos run into town. We've got Dolphins minus 6.5 favorites. Broncos plus 6.5 dogs. We've got Dolphins paying $1.32 head to head, and Broncos $3.20 under over 48.5.
Yeah. I mean, this Dolphins defense scares me the fucking shit. They are.
Mind you,
Well,
they were
like-
without Jalen Phillips. They were without him. So
Who?
it's Jalen Phillips
Also without.
and Ramsey as well. But
Ramsey.
he's injured. But Eli Apple, man, he lets them down. He lets
He
them
does.
down.
Hey,
How
look.
many flags?
It's a wonder he got traded away from the Bengals, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Dolphins won 24-17 against away game against the Bills.
Pats,
Sorry, against the Pats. Same team.
pretty much.
And all I've got to say is that the Pats shut down Tyreek really well. Really well. Didn't allow him an inch. And then Miami still came out and fucking dominated them. Not really, actually. They just kind of did it right.
Monster
I
had
think
a game.
they did. In terms
Monster
of,
had a game, yeah.
in terms of how the game was played, I feel like McDaniels out coached Bill to a point, but I feel like their defense was coached enough by Steve Belichick that they were able to stop the points occurring as quickly as they should have. So I think that's the only reason it was as close a game as it was. Other than that, the Dolphins had their number. They were throwing it around. and-
Stopped the run game really well.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like
And
with
Van
that, I
Ginkel
think
was on form too.
I think the 6.5 against the Broncos, who Russ played okay. Their defense is again still a solid defense, but the offense is struggling.
mean, that's-
And allowed 7 sacks.
Who did?
Yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And that's also the other thing for the Broncos I want to mention is that last year their struggle was the offense really underperforming. I think their average was 16 points per game scored was the average for the. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, their defense allowed 16 points per game average. That's insane.
It's just
For
the
your
offense
defense
that
to
lets them
allow
down.
16 points per game and you still have a fucking maybe a losing record or even record, whatever the fuck it was. It was a problem with the offense not performing as well as they should. Now you got the other way. The offense looks pretty good. Russ is starting to cook a little bit. And the receivers starting to get involved a little bit. You know, they got Javonte. Is he injured this week? The Javonte?
Questionable. He's questionable.
Yeah, so, you know, but that's the crazy thing. They start doing really well on the offensive side. And what happens? The defense is nowhere to be seen. Absolutely nowhere to be seen. And that scares me a little bit. But then it also scares me. Is like, I don't want to bet against them. And what happens if the defense shows up?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm locking Dolphins -6.5.
You're locking Dolphins.
I want to keep you on your toes this episode, but
Oh,
I
my
want locks
God.
flying left, right, and center at your head, and you're just like, what the fuck? All right, Dolphins -6.5. I feel like this is the week where I don't think that the Broncos defense is doing enough. You've got Tyreek running routes all over them. They're passing it through there. They've got Waddle, who was amazing last week. I feel like it's going to be enough.
Yeah,
Tell me I'm wrong.
Just the
Someone
Bron-
tell me I'm
just-
wrong, because I'm not.
I'd have to
I'm
agree.
not,
I'm
Phil.
gonna have to agree with you.
Thank
All
you.
right,
And-
all right,
and I'm
all right.
sick to my stomach agreeing with a Green Bay fan, but yeah, Dolphins. Just
You
the
know what?
offense and the Broncos defense is just missing at the moment. So, mind you, the Dolphins defense is
It's
also
fucking shit
because
at
they're
the
missing,
moment.
they're missing.
Against an average
Pat-
Broncos offense.
What do you mean? Washington defense was supposed to be a good defense, and
mean,
they put up 30.
33 points. So,
The Broncos defense offense, is looking, I would say, on the better half of the league's offenses. I don't think you can say they're a shit looking offense. I think they're
That's in
looking.
their average.
yeah, it's their defense that's going to let them down with the Bronx, but same with the Dolphins, to be fair as well. So I will lock in Dolphins.
You're locking the.
I'm locking Dolphins.
You do know what a lock means, right?
Yeah, mate.
He's riding with me. Let's
Oh
go.
my
That's it.
fucking God.
I'm confident.
for that, mate.
I'm
Oh,
confident.
Thanks, Phil.
fuck me,
Cheers,
man.
bud.
You guys are making me second guess myself.
Good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
over.
It's a lot of weight on those.
And you're taking the over on
And
that.
taking the over.
Holy
Where you locking
fuck.
the over?
Honestly, withdraw your pensions for those old ones out there. and chuck it on.
Holy shit. You know what? I'll back my boy Phil. I'm locking both of those. Over and Dolphins. Fuck, dude. Fuck yeah, Phil. Yeah, Phil.
Good lad.
Let's go. Fucking riding
Good
together
lad.
on that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Looking at the next game, we've got Browns home game against the Titans. Browns are favorites -3. Titans dogs at +3.
Oh. This is a lock. This is a lock. I've never seen this.
Head to head.
This is a lock.
Browns are paying $1.59. Titans are $2.25. Under over 39.5. Oh, it might even be worth that locking the over at 39.5.
You think? No, Titans, both games, Titans have won but scored shit points. Browns are also shit. No Chubb.
And Bill Cosby at quarterback too.
Fucking Bro, man, he looks fucking shit, eh?
his
Holy
passing
fuck.
game
Yeah.
looks lost.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Without
good
Chubb.
point. This is a lock for the Titans.
Yep.
This is a lock for the Titans. Give me that. Was that
Yeah.
3 locks already? Wait, no. That's 4 locks already because I had locked 2 of the last game. That's 4 locks already. Lock in the Titans. Give me that. Bro, +3? Are you kidding me right now?
+3.
I thought it'd be the other way
They'd be the
around.
Chargers, 24. Who's a better team? The Chargers or the Browns?
Chargers.
Chargers.
Tannehill, 20 for 24, 83% completion.
Yeah. I
246, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions.
couldn't believe that.
I mean, come on. The Henry run game wasn't working too well, but you know, they just. I feel like it's probably one of the best teams coming to when it comes to time management or clock management. The way they just chew the clock with Henry and then get first downs with Tannehill when they need to.
Yeah.
And then what do? Did they chew the clock again with Henry? He had like 26 carries last week or something for 80 yards. He didn't fucking get that many yards. But they're just chewing the clock, getting first downs, chewing the clock, getting first down. That's why they're always so low scoring.
Yeah. And always within distance of the teams that they're playing against.
100%.
So.
Yeah, they just do that's also Titans +3.
Yeah, that's an odd one for
Fucking
me.
Give me that, dude. Give me that. If you're telling me the Chargers offense, even with Herbert slinging it as best he could only put up 24 and the Titans outscored them, then yeah, give me Titans all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take Titans. I'm not going to lock it, though.
Well, you
Yeah.
fucking pussy.
No, I just feel like I'm sticking with my 3-lock system, and I'm gonna.
Oh, you're such a fucking
Well,
pussy,
no,
dude.
look,
I'm
it
confident.
works, it
I'm going
works.
Titans. Locking it in.
You're looking at it. Yes, Phil. Lock
mean-
the Titans, baby.
Yeah, I'm gambling, man.
The thing is, Phil's like season record is only this week and next week, so he can lock whatever the fuck he wants, and his record it won't be destroyed.
Well,
You know?
No,
Yeah.
not really. Unless 2 weeks in a row, he should submit this week and next week.
There's no way because
Oh.
we've got the same lock, so
Yeah.
obviously we're gonna.
And I'll never be allowed back. So
Just to the
I'm
house
just-
at all.
I'm just going for gold.
Right. We'll have a look at the next game. We've got Commanders at home against the Bills. Commanders are dog 6.5. Bills favorites minus 6.5. Did I say that wrong?
No, you
No, you got that right. You
Ah,
got that
sweet,
right.
perfect. Head to head, Commanders playing $3.10. Bills $1.34. Over under
Over-under.
44.5.
I mean, to be honest, that over under is not bad.
No, not at all. I like the over.
To be
No, I
honest, if
definitely
this
like the
was if this was a Bills home game, I would probably lock Bills 6.5 all day of the week. The fact it's not means I'm not going to lock this. I'm going to still think about
I
it.
reckon the Bills have sorted this shit out as of last week.
Well, it was just Josh Allen at the fix. He
Yeah,
just had
exactly.
a bad,
But-
bad first game.
And he came in with a bit of confidence that I feel like he kind of lost, didn't have in that first week because he was nervous. He was running out of the pocket. He was just straight, he was panicking. And then last week he'd sorted that out, and I feel like it kind of like showed on the field. Hence the 38-10, scoreline against the Raiders. So I'm actually probably going to double lock. I'm going to go Bills minus 6.5 and the over.
Wow. I mean, my
Good call.
only scary thing here is that the Washington have shown. I mean, yeah, I'm not convinced on the Washington the 2-0 start. Yeah, maybe not. But I'm worried that we've seen Josh Allen last year have really good games and look really good. And then out of the blue, he'll have a game like week 1 where he just throws 3 picks, isn't good. As soon as he starts to kind of like question himself, and once he throws 1 pick, it's like a floodgate. It's like a dam.
Yeah.
And I said damn when he started throwing picks, you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that one, guys. That's my bad. I shouldn't have said that.
And to be fair, last week with the Commanders offense, Scary Terry was fucking balling out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he
like,
was
On the
going good.
defensive side of the ball, Chase Young was a dog.
He's
He's terrifying.
insane.
You see him in his post-game interview. He was just like
No.
unit. He was just built.
I mean, he's fucking
Yeah.
massive,
He's a
man.
huge
I mean,
human.
that's the
He's
one
a
thing I don't
huge
like
human.
about this game is that, but they beat the Raiders 36-10 at home. If they beat the Raiders 36-10, well, they're at home, though. This is a Commanders
I feel like the
home.
Commanders is a better team than the Raiders at this point, though.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, I think so,
100%.
too.
Way better D, better offense.
I mean, man,
I'm
I
still
really don't know what to
confident on
think.
Bills minus 6 and over.
Oh,
You
I don't
you
know,
wanna.
man. This one, because I'm not going to lock any of this, and because I'm not locking any of
pussy or
it,
something?
how many locks you made? How many locks you made?
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's
pipe
4.
down over there.
Hey, I've crossed my margin. I've gone 4.
That's true. That means you're done for the rest of. Oh my god, you got
actually, I'm
pages left. You got pages left.
It's time to go. I might change my mind. I've already broken that threshold.
Because
It's all downhill from here.
Because I'm not locking anything. No. See, I still don't know. Phil, you talk while I.
well,
Pick one, Phil.
I'm going to call an upset. I'm going Commanders. I reckon it's going to.
6.5.
Well, Josh Allen, just over the obviously, we try not to look back at last year, but it was becoming more of a regular thing where he was shitting the bed, basically.
You know what, Phil? I disagree with you.
Disagree. Oh, this is put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Well, not that I disagree, but my one thing I just looked at and that has kind of swayed my mind here is that if they allowed the Broncos, who I think have a decent defense, a decent offense, don't get me wrong, if they allowed the Broncos to put up 33 on them, then what are they going to do? What are the Bills going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I just reckon Josh Allen's going to have another crap
on,
game.
Philip.
But I definitely get what you're saying. But
Yeah,
I,
I'm gonna go Bills minus 6.5 here. Do I
That's why
lock
said I didn't
it?
like you last week.
well, Commanders at home.
terrible
The
terrible
D-
decision making skills.
Commanders at home. I don't think the Commanders D is going to allow Josh for their running game. So
But the thing is, it wasn't solely Josh Allen last week.
Oh, no, everyone
They had a
fired.
balanced run game for the first time in fucking however long. They actually used a proper run game in terms of using their running backs. They had ball spread around. It was just an overall good game by the Bills against the Raiders. I think they've got the Commanders number easy.
I'm going to stick to my guns. But what you are saying though,
I'm
is
taking
right.
Bills minus 6.5, and I'll lock it. I'll lock
It's a
it.
big call.
Bills minus 6.5.
They didn't agree with me. Now look where they are. Not you though, Phil.
I mean,
you
taking
stand
the-
your ground, bro.
Taking
I'm
the
saying
over.
my ground,
Okay,
mate.
hold on,
Commanders.
Grayson. I got to ask you though. You took the over, right?
Yep.
Over under is 44.
Yep.
I got to ask you one question. How many points do you see the Commanders scoring? Give me your score prediction for this game. Not because obviously I'm not going to hold this against you whether you get the score right, but I am curious. You took the over of 44 and a half. Do you think Bill's going to win by 6.5? So give me your, just for fun.
I'd even say like 28-20. Like even if it's like that.
28-20. So, but you think the Commanders will be able to put 20 up against the Bills?
I think it's possible, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was just curious. That's all.
I don't think it's going to be like a fully one-sided game, but I do think the Bills have the 6.5. I think they've got the touchdown margin, and I think it combined it's going to be enough to get over that. Considering like how much the Broncos were able to score on the Commanders, I think it'll be fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, even if it is a
Nice.
one-sided blowout, but like as it was said, like Scary Terry last week was balling out. I feel like
He was doing well.
I feel like it's going to be fairly balanced, but it's going to be a touchdown or more to the Bills.
Fair. Phil, next game, what do we got?
We got Ravens and Colts. So Ravens favors was 7.5. Colts underdogs 7.5. And head to head, Ravens $1.23, Colts 3.85, 44.5 over and under. What we going,
it's,
Creed?
it's Ravens home game here as well, which I mean it's so hard because I feel like at the moment anyone that plays the Bengals, it's hard to take that game seriously in a way. It's hard to
Yeah.
put merit into the Ravens win there, which look, they won 27-24 away at the Bengals, which is good.
But against a Bengals team that were not firing
Well,
at all.
that's the hard part. It's really hard to back a team that yes gets a win, but when you know that the team they won against is struggling, it's hard to really put merit into that. So
Yeah.
this one's really hard for me. Obviously, the Colts beat the Texans. Minshew's probably going to be in if Richardson actually got a concussion. If he's out, I don't know if he's actually out, or if he's just.
Well, I've
you
got
have him in fantasy. Phil,
fantasy,
so-
yeah, and it's got him as out at the moment.
Really? Okay.
But
I was looking at
Gardner
reports
Minshew,
today,
though.
and it currently like it is one of those pending things, so we're not quite sure yet. We've got to
Yeah.
wait for the reports to come out. So
But Minshew though, hey, he took his
not the
opportunity.
same. look,
he took his opportunity.
yeah, but it's not the same
It's
as
not the
having
same.
Richardson. In.
No,
who ran in two
nowhere near.
touchdowns last
Honestly,
week.
hey, look, call this controversial. Call it controversial. But I think Minshew, with Jonathan Taylor as the running back, is a better team than Richardson without Jonathan Taylor at running back. Call me crazy.
It's not a bad call. Not a bad call.
I don't like this game at all.
Well, no, neither do I. 7 points? What the fuck is that? 7 points?
Yeah, I wasn't
I think
expecting
I
that. I
just
was-
agree with Zach. I don't really care about watching the Ravens either. So, like,
Yeah, I mean, look, I
Colts
agree.
really hadn't found their stride. They were doing okay with Richardson, but if he's not playing, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all.
I'm gonna go.
But I'm going to take Colts plus 7.5. I'm taking the dogs.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll go Ravens minus 7.5 here.
And I'm gonna lock. I'm gonna be brave here. I'm gonna lock in the under.
Actually, you know what? I take back what I said. I'm going Colts plus 7.5. What do you do?
I went Ravens at home.
And then what do you say?
But I'm going Ravens, not locking that in, but I'm gonna lock in the under.
You're locking in the under of 44.5.
Yeah, with it. Just both teams for me. Obviously, Richardson could be out, and if he comes back, he's probably not going to be at his best.
I get what you're saying there, man. I mean, I could 100% see a 2017 game. I could easily see that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. I reckon it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be like, as you say, it's gonna be like that 23-20 something. It's gonna be close.
Well, that's the thing. When you go the under, you almost have to go the dog. When it's plus 7.5, because if it's an under, then chances are it's either a blowout by this favorite team or it's a close game. And I don't see this being a blowout by the Ravens. So
no.
that's
definitely
why I
not.
like the close game here of the Colts plus 7.5. But once again,
Phil's decided to contradict himself anyway.
Oh no, I'm always stick to me guns.
Fair enough,
We're
bud.
going Ravens.
All right, look at the next game. We have Jets home game against the Pats.
Oh god.
Jets underdogs plus 2.5. Pats favorites minus 2.5. Head to head, Jets paying $2.17. Pats $1.63. Under over 37.
I mean, my thought,
Boring game.
boring game. My thought is that if the Pats can do that well against the Dolphins, I think they can do just as good against the Jets, if not better against the Jets. Zach Wilson sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit, their season's out the window.
How many interceptions did he throw?
About three or four.
Three,
The
I think.
number of
Three.
people on this couch. Crazy.
I mean, they're having problems in that team. Even the people that aren't like the receivers and stuff like that, people are getting angry at each other. It is clearly going downhill for this team. I'm taking Pats -2.5 here, even away. I mean, it's still a New York game, right?
Hey, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Boston,
New
New York. You know,
Yeah.
I'm taking. It's still going to
Don't
be
have to
listed.
travel far.
Yeah, exactly. It's still going to be listed with Pats fans. I'm taking Pats -2.5. And this is a boring game. Taking Pats.
It's going to be defensive heavy in terms of how it's going to go down. That's why the under is so low. I don't trust anything here. Fuck, I don't know.
I mean, would I bet on this game? No.
No, I don't really want to touch it.
I wouldn't recommend
but
it.
I'm going to agree with you, Korea, and go the -2.5 to the Pats.
Yeah, I'm going
Not
minus.
that I like it, but
I'm going -2.5 with Pats as well. I'm not locking. If I had to, I'd go under.
I
'Cause
mean,
they're
yeah.
both defense heavy team. Well, the Pats aren't really, but they're shit on offense at the moment.
I
So
mean,
they're
hey,
not
look,
gonna put up
they
points.
kept the Dolphins in check reasonably.
True. But then,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, they think about how they kept Tyreek Hill in check. If they take Garrett Wilson and put him in check as well, then who else are they going to throw to?
yeah, good point.
Like, you know, if they don't, if he's not throwing to Garrett Wilson, their one score from last week was Zach Wilson throwing to Garrett Wilson on like the 40-yard line, and then he
Yeah.
ran it all the way in for a touchdown.
Well, that's what they.
You know, if you take that away, then what?
Because the Jets, yeah, Zach Wilson playing like shit. No one to pass to.
Brees Hall got 4 touches that game.
Yeah, especially after game one where he was
Massive
immense.
game 1. Yeah.
And then you don't use him. The thing with the Jets, they've got no offensive plan or tactics, and they just every now and again will hope for that deep ball to get them a
it's not going
result.
to be enough.
So yeah, Jets,
I'm-
Jets are pathetic.
Sweet. Sick of this game. Moving on.
Yeah,
Creek, you're up.
This is an interesting game for me personally.
see.
Seahawks at home -5.5 against the Panthers +5.5 over under 42. I mean, Seahawks bet lines in overtime, absolute shootout, not a defense in sight. Offense of the Seahawks is firing, so you know it looked way better than the Rams. DK's sick, K9's sick, Lockett. I mean, he's one of the goats. I think since what's the stat? Since 2019, he is fifth most touchdowns in the league. You know that?
Oh, I didn't.
He is 5th most touchdowns in the league since 2019 or 2018, whenever it was.
His red zone catch percentage is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think he's. I think no. I think he's dropped. I think last week actually he's dropped 1. But since last week, since he came into the league, I think he has dropped 1 red zone target ever.
Far
I
out.
think he got one last season, so maybe 2.
Still an impressive stat
Still,
though.
like red zone targets, and he's and especially although Jackson Smith-Jigga isn't doing a whole lot, he's that check down guy
He's the
in
other
the
guy,
slot that when DK's not on, Lockett's not on, whatever, you can take that easy 5 yards with JSN. So I mean I like the Seahawks now. Defense still scares me. They don't have their 5th overall pick in the game yet. I don't know what's happening with them. Still injured. Jamal Adams. Is he still injured? Did he play? I think he's still injured. I think he's just training at the moment. And then you look at the Panthers. Boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked
Panthers
a bit like a
boring.
lost team. They've got no real identity.
Bryce Young's
Bryce
completion
Young's
too.
shit. 66.7% completion rate for 153 yards against the Saints. We've got a kind of decent defense, but nothing to
They've got
go
nothing to
scream in
offer.
the street about.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
take away that touchdown they scored in the dying minutes of that game, which I'm pissed the Saints let up because that cost me another bet.
Too many margins broken for
Yeah.
this man last week.
If you take away that, then they scored, what was it, 17, and they scored
Yes.
10. So,
Yeah, 2010.
I mean, it's incredibly disappointing. Seahawks, and also, hold up, Seahawks home game against a rookie quarterback, that brother's not hearing anything. He's going to have so many issues with that. I'm tempted to lock the Seahawks -5.5 here.
Yeah, big atmosphere there. Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's one of the loudest stadiums in
I think it was
football.
ranked third, second or third.
Something
It's-
like
it's
that.
out
I
there.
think it's second behind Arrowhead, isn't it?
Yeah, Arrowhead's
Um,
fucking loud too. Yeah,
You know,
so-
and it's just going to Carolina to all the way to fucking Seattle. That's the one thing about Seattle as well. It's so far away for most teams.
Yeah.
Like it is such a traveled weekend, and
Yeah, I'm taking Seahawks minus 5.
I'm taking Seahawks minus 5.5. Trying to think. Over under is 42.
I'm calling a blowout. I'm going Seahawks minus 5.5 and over.
And
reckon-
over.
I reckon the Seahawks are going to.
42.
Well, like Panthers will contribute a little bit. They'll get a couple of field goals, I reckon, maybe one tutty. But Seahawks are going to blow their asses off the paddock. It's going to be a big game from them. So, yeah, I'm locking in over 42 and Seahawks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, let me lock the Seahawks here. Let me lock the Seahawks here on the back of that, Phil. Let me lock the Seahawks minus 5.5 here. I think home game, the offense starting to fire. If Jamal's back this week and they get their 5th pick back this week or starting this week, I think it's gonna be a shutdown. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm locked that in.
Good man. Great. Oh, you've already, I think you've already made. Did you make your decision before?
Yeah, I just said Seahawks. I'm not
Yeah.
locking it though.
Good stuff.
Next game, what do we got?
Right. We'll go to me. Chiefs Bears.
Chiefs home.
Yep, Chiefs are home. 12. Chiefs 12 and under favourite. Bears 12.5 plus. Head to head, $1.12. Chiefs clear favourites. Bears $5.60 and over under 47.5. I think it's pretty obvious who we got here, boys.
There's no way the Bears. I mean,
I'll just read the notes that I put down for the Bears. I was looking at their stats earlier today, and I just thought I'd
are
write
there
some
any
important notes about their stats. Lost to Bucks 27 to 17 away. Fuck this team. So shit. Who cares about them? Also, I think the Justin Fields era is over.
I mean, it never started, does it?
No, but like
Oh, I was one of the OGs that said he's not a good player.
He's one indecisive QB,
Oh yeah.
and he just relies on his running game at stupid moments to get them out of trouble, and it doesn't. Mind you, great away strip they had on the weekend, I thought. But that's really about it. Fuck the Bears. They are not going to Arrowhead, and they're definitely not going to... I don't even know if they're going to reach any touchdowns
I mean,
against the Chiefs defense with Chris
12,
Jones
like,
back.
I mean, Grayson did put in these notes. Margin will scare Cree. Yeah, he's not wrong. 12.5. I don't care who you are. 12.5 is crazy.
yeah,
It's
this is
scary.
one of the things that was brought up last year. Cree got to a point last year where he said anything above like 12, he won't touch.
it's a big call.
It's almost worth going the other way on anything above 10. I mean, from last year, everything that happened last year, when it might have, when it was like, I think it might have been, once again, I could be getting this wrong, when it was like Chief Texans 12.5 or 10.5, whatever it was. Oh, yeah, Chiefs all day. They're fucking 12-2, whatever it was at the time, or and then the Texans just out of nowhere, it was their first game that they, it's just so scary to take any minus 12.5. It's just so
It's a big margin.
insane that I'm taking Chiefs minus 12.5.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of that too. I'm going to go under, but yeah, Chiefs minus
I
12
mean,
and
yeah,
a half.
I could definitely see the under happening.
I'm going Chiefs minus 12 and
I
a
don't
half.
see the Bears scoring very often.
No.
Perfect. All right, we'll look at the next game. I got Cardinals home game, 12.5 underdogs against the Cowboys.
Holy
Favorites
fuck.
plus minus 12.5.
Jesus.
Head to head, Cardinals are paying $5.35. Cowboys $1.13. Fucking no point going there at all. Under over of 43. The Cowboys are looking insane.
Yeah.
I've got to say it. Their defense is brutal. Mike Parsons is terrifying.
I mean, yeah.
They're just able to have takeaways. They're scoring points. At some points of the game, they're outscoring the offense.
I mean, that's the thing. You look at the Cardinals game against the Giants, and it was Dak. Oh, no, sorry, not Dak. It was Daniel Jones and Saquon that won them that game. They were trailing massively and single-handedly,
Brought them in.
well, with a little bit of Waller in there. Daniel Jones and Saquon managed to flip their script and make their comeback. And I would say, personally, call me crazy, that the Dak and Pollard combo is just as good as the Saquon Daniel Jones combo.
That's it.
So now
Oh,
you got Dak and Pollard with CeeDee Lamb, with I think what's his name, still injured, so it doesn't really matter. But I just think that offense is way better than the Giants' offense.
Their defense is
Their
way
defense is just
Yeah.
insane.
It's top in the
it's-
league.
First
yeah,
ranked.
absolutely. It's number one. You can't. It's hard to.
Even without Micah Parsons, they're still dominant. It's
Hey, I'm gonna say though, I do think the Cardinals are not as bad as everyone thought.
nah.
I think they're really not. They've showed how good they could be, with the
Yeah.
little bit of something they got going on.
Joshua Dobbs.
Dobbs, yeah, he's okay. He's
Yeah,
all right.
I still don't know how the Giants let him, put 20 basically on them.
Yeah, embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. But Cards aren't as bad. They're not going to win this,
No, absolutely not.
but they're not terrible like they were.
I
last year.
might go Cardinals plus 12.5.
Whoa.
I have a drink for that one.
I don't know. I just, felt a little tingle in the back of the neck and you decided to follow it. And it took me to the Cardinals and they're like, hello, 12.5. That's good enough. So we're going to take that.
God, you've only had one ice lager too. So
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm changing the script. I'm going Cardinals plus 12.
Why are you going Cardinals
You
plus
literally
12?
talked the Cowboys up
Yeah,
there.
look. They've been amazing the first 2 weeks, but you know what? Unless it's third time's a charm, I'm just going Cardinals plus 12.5.
Mind you, I can't say much because I went Commanders.
They
as
put
well, so
30 on
The
the
football
Jets.
gods speak to me.
They put 30 on the Jets.
I know, and Jets are a defense-heavy team. So
Name two players in that Cardinals defense. Yeah.
The one in the front and the one in the back.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Give me Cowboys minus 12.5 here.
yeah, I'm with
They're
Creed.
traveling all the way to Arizona and they're
I only look
shitting.
back on the moment, like, and either make fun of it or clip it. Either way, I look like a dick or he does. I don't care.
There's no way. Cowboys minus 12.5 here. Easy.
Yep. Me
Next
too.
game.
Ooh, excuse me.
What do we got?
You were getting grey or me?
Gray?
I feel like you're good at
Hey guys, I got this one.
Okay, perfect.
Next game we got
I'll call the last.
Raiders against Steelers. Raiders home game.
Oh, this is-
minus 1.5 against Steelers plus 1.5. I mean, hey, over under 43. Boring game.
I
could not care less about this game.
Yeah.
I was watching the Steelers Browns game.
Oh,
and
same. I watched
had
that.
it on my other screen at work. And
Wanted
I
to shoot myself.
Kenny
I hated
Pickett,
it.
mate.
It was horrible. The problem is, like, the Steelers have so much chance to be a good team, and the fact that they're within their division, they still have a chance to come out of it. But I have no faith in them. Whereas the Raiders, they have a couple good pieces that could gel together well, but again, they haven't. These are two teams that have so much fucking talent, and they're just not delivering.
They don't want to use
I
them.
mean-
So.
No, not
I'll,
at all.
I'll start it off for you guys. I've already got my decision made.
Yeah, good. Let's get out of this one early.
I'm not taking either of them. I'm taking the under. I'm not locking anything. I'm just taking the under. Not taking the teams. Don't give a shit.
Oh, I'm going Steelers plus 1.5.
Yeah, for me, like it's not even worth putting a bet on. They're both even Stevens head to head, and 1.5 as well. What the fuck's that all about? Under, I'd definitely lock an under. But if I had to pick a team, I'd go Raiders. They've just got a couple more options.
Yeah,
On
I mean
offense,
that's
it's
the way
just
I see
offense.
it. Yeah.
Cool. Good chat. Moving on. Bucks, Eagles, Bucks at
Hey,
home.
now we're onto the
Monday.
Monday night football
Monday
for
night
us.
football.
New Zealand is Tuesday.
2 games Monday night.
There's
Yeah.
Have they started doing that
I think
now?
they
Is that the
have,
new
yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might be. I'm all for it.
Hey, gives me 2 games to watch instead of one fucking. If one game's boring,
One shitter.
I can change game.
I got
Yeah.
away with doing a split screen on the games on this Monday just gone.
How do you do that?
Oh, I've got on Sky.
It was a pity.
ESPN split screen.
It was a pity because both games were shit.
Both games were shit. I couldn't get away from it. I ended up not watching and just listening to them.
Yeah.
But for this first Monday night game, we've got Bucks at home paying plus 5.5. Dogs against the Eagles minus 5.5. Head to head, Bucks are $2.65. Eagles are $1.43. Under over 46.
I mean, this is a tough game. The Eagles look nowhere near as strong as they should be, or I think they would be this year. They don't look like the team that was just in the Super Bowl.
They very much go through the motions.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, even beating the Vikings 34-28 at home, that's not as good as it should have been. Let's be
Right,
real.
quick question. Do we think the Vikings are currently a better team than the Bucks are playing? Like, in comparison, if you look at them directly,
I'd go Bucks.
you go
Bucks are better.
better team.
Yeah, overall, not as
Eagles
exciting.
minus 5.5. I reckon I take it.
Eagles.
I'm not gonna lock it. I'd take that over the Bucks +5.
Well, who have the Bucks played this year? They had.
Wait, but you said who's a better team? He said the Bucks are a better team. The the Vikings came within 7. So he's saying the Bucks should come within better than 7, but you're taking it Eagles minus. How does that make sense? Didn't you ask him when you asked him that, and he said Bucks? Doesn't that void your point of taking the Eagles? If
I reversed.
you see what I'm saying, Phil?
Yeah, no, I definitely see it.
You make a very good point. I reversed math myself.
Wait, so I'm confused. What point are you trying to make here? The Eagles or the Bucks?
I think I was trying to make a point for the Bucks being a better team.
Well, that's what. Yeah. So
Yeah.
therefore, you would take Bucks +5.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
At home.
Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. I was
Hey,
confused for a
look,
second.
it's been a long podcast. We're coming up an hour, right?
Who did Bucks have week 1?
They had Vikings, and they beat them 20-17. That hurt. And then Bucks obviously beat the Bears 27-17. So they're not the most exciting team.
Bucks at home, give me +5.5. Give me Bucks at home, +5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bit of that. Like the Eagles, for me, very much going through the motions. They're not using Brown at all, really.
I think Baker's way better than everyone thought he was going to be.
Yeah, he's
And
having a season.
I saw a stat today about his last 8 games as a Browns QB before he got injured his shoulder, compared to his first 7 games so far as a Bucks QB, and they're almost identical. And like he did really, and people are really confused why the Browns really moved on from him. His stats were good, and they moved on after he injured his shoulder, and
There's a
now
lot
they've
of
got
crowd noise.
Now they've got Deshaun, and Baker's looking good. I think the amount of energy and everything he brings to that team,
Yeah.
it means so much more than people think. And that being a home game, he's going to feed off that.
Well, yeah,
Give me +5.5.
passionate guy. Like he took the Browns to their first playoff game in how many years?
Yeah.
And obviously, okay, he had a bad season last year. He was here, there, everywhere, Carolina, all that. But yeah, this year he's at the ground running. Bucks for me, better overall team. Not exciting, but I'm gonna have them at home against the Eagles.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. That's exactly what I said from the start.
I remember when you said that from the start. To be honest, though, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. 2 great games for our Tuesday.
Yeah.
US Monday, our Tuesday.
Lovely.
2 great games. I'm gassed for these. Might put a little
Sick in. We sick, but it's a bit sick day.
Oh,
Extend the weekend. Why not?
Yeah, what? Yeah, have
actually,
a 4-day weekend.
I've got Monday off, boys.
Oh, look at that.
I'm sitting at home with Red Zone on, watching all the games.
Nice.
Let's go.
Good man.
Last game,
Right.
Philly D. What we got?
Bengals versus Rams. So Bengals favourites. Or 2.5 and under. And Rams 2.5 plus. Head to
I
head,
hate this
$1.74. Rams $2. Not really worth putting your money on that. And over under 43.5.
If anything, take the over.
Yeah, well the over
43.
under. Yeah, 43.5.
It's 43.5.
Well the Rams be scoring.
Hold on,
It's-
can I just say, holy fuck, the
It's
Rams
generous.
are good this year.
Yeah, after
Whoa, out of nowhere. Puka Nakua is showing up.
mate, what a find.
He's
Honestly.
he's on track to have the most receiving yards like this year.
And
Imagine having
Stafford, Stafford slinging it too.
Imagine having a team with 2 Cooper Cups.
Oh,
Imagine when Cooper Cup comes back.
well, when's he due back? He's what, week 6?
soon.
Week 5? Week 4?
Oh, yeah.
5 or 6 maybe?
5, I think.
But imagine two, because that's what he looks like. He looks
He
like
did.
another
Cooper Cup Jr.
Cooper Cup. And it's fucking nuts. Give me Rams +2.5 here.
+2.5, yeah.
But honestly, I genuinely, I might put the Rams winning this in a multi with a couple underdogs I like here, because I genuinely see the Rams winning this. With how
Yeah.
bad the Bengals have been, there's no sign of them turning around. These
Joe Burrow is questionable again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're actually saying he's more on the side of not playing this weekend, so his backup's going to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I love the Rams here. I think they are way better than everyone thought. The fact that every team, and even the last week when the 49ers played the Rams, they had to triple team Aaron Donald to stop him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, look, honestly, I love
Give me
the
the-
Rams here.
Give me the big Donald Duck man and the Rams.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rams. Yeah.
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 Perfect.
Honestly,
I'm
I
ramming the
love
Rams
that.
too.
I love that.
And over under, what do we think, boys?
I mean, if I
It's
bet on
generous.
it, I wouldn't bet on it.
I
If
wouldn't
I
bet
did
on
bet on it, I'd go over.
I won't touch it.
I mean, the Rams defense isn't great.
I would. I'd definitely have a crack at it.
Fair.
Would you go over?
I would go over.
Yeah,
reckon the Rams got points
that's
in them.
very fair.
That's fair.
Reckon the
'Cause
Rams
even
got
if the
points.
Bengals have a really good game, then
Yeah.
the Rams are still going to have a really good game.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that. I mean, that's why I would take Rams and over. Might
Both-
put that in a
both
multi,
teams.
maybe.
Both teams are
Perfect.
scoring 20 at least.
Yeah, I could see it. Easy. Yeah, I could see it.
All right. Well, that's all our games, boys. Everyone happy with their locks?
Happy.
I can't remember what I locked. I think I locked 6 there, maybe.
Yeah, you locked the lock.
Plus, I put money on every Thursday night football game, and I think everyone should. Thursday night football is a statement. You know, it's a fucking for us. It's a Friday
To be
midday.
fair, it's the start of the weekend.
Honestly, Friday midday for us, the football comes on. I'm done working. I'm done.
Some of us still have to work.
I do a couple little things while I'm at work, and I have the football on. The sun's out. I crack a beer at 3:30, and my weekend started. And that also, you got to have money on that because it also makes it way more interesting. There's one game to focus on. You don't have any fantasy. You don't have to pay attention to all these games going on. There's one game. It's a Thursday night football. You put money on it. Starts at midday for us. You watch it. You jack off. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking sick. Honestly, sick experience. Sick experience.
But you said you're at work.
And
You have a good point. Right, well, that's been Tackle for Locks for another week for week 3 of the NFL.
hey, thanks for listening, everybody, or watching, everybody.
We shall see you again
And
next
remember,
week.
don't bet on us.
Bet on yourselves.
Bet on yourselves.
Don't be afraid of reckless gambling.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
so
man.
Well, you know, your happiness comes first, guys.
Absolutely. Hey,
And
look,
let's-
if you're
and I
losing,
always come
if you're
first.
losing
Yeah.
thousands, makes you happy. Lose thousands.
Yeah. And it'll
You'll
make the wife go to work a bit more.
You'll see us next week.
Yeah, it's perfect.
See you later, guys.